Hello again. Well, I've it's been several days since I've finished the boxing in of the water tank, which was the last episode, and it's been some days of stopping, starting, and thinking. For some reason, I guess it's just the season. It's dark, it's cold. I haven't got huge amounts of energy, just physically and also mentally, but still having to press on with some things. So I mentioned, there are several things I could have started on, and so what I did think I start on once I finish the boxing is, as it is so cold, and as I have a wood fired stove, I thought it'd be great to progress getting that in, and I started working on the hearth. So that obviously needs to get that in before I can get the stove and get the flue measured up. However, it came a right cropper, because once I've got that, to do the hearth, I'm going to need some tiles, and the tiles need to match. I think I mentioned my good friend Chris. He kindly donated the excess vinyl tile flooring from his kitchen project, and I've got some strips. And I've been to his kitchen multiple times. It's grey. It's grey with a tiny bit of brown. But I went down to a place called Tops Tiles, which for non-British people is a big tile retailer, and in with this, and all of a sudden this looked brown. Maybe it was the light, but anyway, and also there were just so many hundreds of different tiles. I was just completely overwhelmed. So I came away and could have put that to one side. I'm going home to see my mother soon, so I will consult her ideas on what might go with this. I'll take this and see what she says. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is, here I am back in the stern, and I've decided that for the sake of anything else, I'm going to work my way way backwards to the front for now. This is not a total philosophy, and so the idea is I'm going to put the frameworks up for the two sets of cupboards here at the back. The reason being, so that means once those are in, once the fire does come in, the hot water tank is going to be here, and that needs to be in place so I can work out the plumbing for that. Also, similarly on this side, this is where all the main electrical gubbins is going to be. And before I start putting stuff in, I need to know, I need to have the cupboard around, because until it's there's no point working off plan. As I've been finding to date, there's one thing you're drawing something on a CAD program, and when you get to the reality of the real world, it never quite matches up. So that's what I've started. But before I go any further, and this is why it's been taking me a couple of days to think about it. A couple of days was more going down the aborted path of the fireplace. But already I started just looking at it. Before I do anything permanent, what do I need to get sorted out? For instance, behind here there is a conduit and in place. Well, I think there is. It's now weeks. It was last year, but I'm pretty sure I put a spare conduit behind here, because I know they'll have to put a couple of low voltage wires going from one side to the other. So it would make a lot of sense if I have the wire to do that before anything gets screwed in or in place. Similarly, I was looking down here is where the batteries are going to go, and you may or may not remember that last year I put the pipes in, and I just came to not terribly stupid conclusion. I probably should have thought about it before, but I didn't just like the fact that the pipes, although it's a single piece of pipe, that shouldn't be leaking. I just didn't like the idea of here is where the battery bank is going to be, and I didn't like the idea of the water pipes right next to the battery bank. So what I've done is I've moved them just for this part, I've moved them onto the floor, and then you can see they pop up a bit further on there. So if they do spring a leak, and let's hope they don't, at least the water will just go straight into the bilge and out of harm's way, and not be spraying all over the batteries. So that's that. And again, so I'm going to think a bit more before I do any more. There's also been a bit of measuring out and trying to take this slowly, because like with all of it, I'd really like to get it right the first time. So let's see. So as you know, I tried to put the warts and all on these videos, and there we go. I checked, and sure enough, well, not sure enough, but actually, alas, I didn't put the second conduit in before Christmas. However, it's not the end of the world. The panels come off very easily, as do the
the vent things with just a couple of screws. So and I've got the piece of conduit, which is why I went to the container and I saw the second piece of conduit. I was like, no, I obviously didn't put it in. So that won't take too long, and better do it now than before I start off all the with all the framing, etc. So that's that in.
Because it was considerably easier to do that before the cupboards went in than once the framework had been there. So the duct's there. I haven't put the wires in because that would take another whole level of thought. But I have put some pull cords, so it's only a straight piece. So again, fingers crossed when I come to do it, and it should only be 1 or 2 wires. So 1 or 2 pairs of wires. So it shouldn't. It should go through quite easily. And regardless, both of these sides, I did actually. I'm not completely without trying to think ahead. Both these panels are sized, so even when the cupboard is up, I should still be able to take those panels off quite easily. Which I'll have to do because at some point I need to cut some holes in the actual metal bulkhead to get the wires through to the engine area. And I can't do that just yet because I have to work out what's behind there yet, so I don't stop drilling holes where things might be. But anyway, that's a whole different chapter. It'll be so nice when I get there, but you or I are not going to see that for quite a while. Right, well, after that detour, before I start cutting any pieces of plywood, given they're £60, what I'm going to do, well, what I have done already, using some scraps, scraps of the trim actually from previous jobs, I've just made a very basic frame template just to check it fits. So, and it does. So that's something. However, it's getting towards the end of the day. It's getting dark. It's raining outside. So before I start the joyous task of manhandling sheet materials, that's going to wait. That's going to be for another day. Morning. Well, it's a lovely day, here. Blue skies, sun, but absolutely freezing. And I say freezing, I woke up this morning and it was -2 in the boat. No problems with condensation because everything had frozen. I took the week off to go and visit my mother for her birthday. And hello, Mark and Mandy, and thank you for providing such a lovely birthday party. Anyway, I'm back here now, and I have to say, quite a bit of me says I should have just stayed at my mother's in the warmth, because I'm not sure what I'm going to do now. The next when I left before the weekend, the next thing was to go and start cutting up plywood for the cupboard framing. But in this current weather, as well as just being miserable outside at the moment, everything, as you can see, is quite the skating rink. And I really don't want to put any salt or anything on it because, salt and water and metal are not a good combination. And yeah, it's actually okay. It's not okay actually. I mean, it's just starting to warm up a little. It's still well below freezing, but yeah, trying to maneuver big plywood boards in this weather is not going to be a very clever idea. Well, the cold snap's forecast to last for the rest of the week, so I'm going to have to think of Plan B, as it were, because Plan A would be just to sit here and sit in front of the heater with cups of tea. Real Plan A should have been, of course, working on the cupboards, but I probably need to think of some things to do that don't involve trying to haul 8 foot by 4 foot sheets of plywood around in this slippy weather. Well, that's Plan B kiboshed. I can't open the bloody lock on the container because it's frozen solid. And I can't think how to... I've got some WD-40 that's inside the container. And, yeah, I can hardly get the heater out. So. So it's supposed to warm up slightly above freezing after lunch. So maybe I'll have to wait in that. So looks like it is Plan C, heater and tea for the moment. So I was just walking back and I was thinking, it occurred to me, it's like, what do you do with a car? Well, if you go in the car, old days when it's frozen solid, you'd get the lighter or matches onto the keys. So let's see if this works. Voila. So, one thing I can do while I'm waiting, which is very much an indoor job, you probably, I don't expect you to remember, but when I was doing the running in the wires, I had one spur junction to make, and I bought some Wago connectors, which are a way to connect wires. And if you remember, I could not find the connector book because they're so small. And I still can't find them, so I'd caved in and I bought another set, which of course means that within the next day or two I will absolutely definitely find the original ones. However, I've got them, and it's something to do that's easy and it's actually, and I will say it's straightforward and it's easy and warm. So something to tick off the list. Not on any critical path in the near future, but why not get it done? I've never used these before, but they're great little things. They're just, rather than having to faff with screws and things, and as long as you cut the wire to the right size, which I have done, they seem to very nicely slip in, and then you just put the lever back down, and they're in great. And there's no, unlike like with the old chop blocks, there's no screws that are actually live, so it makes a really nice connection. I mean, to any electrician, they'll be like, well, yeah, of course, but to me, they're really quite good. Right then, next small job. The piece of pipe has arrived. So let's go and see what it puts on. Cross my fingers, because if this leaks, it's going to dent my mood very much. Back to the naughty corner. So pipe, I'm definitely, although it fits quite. It fits perfectly, more or less, but it's still so chilly that just to get it to bend a bit, I will hopefully, it's just that magic word. Come on, there we go. I said all that, so a bit more warming. Somewhat better. I think it's as much as it's going to go. And then that way. There we go. Right. Trouble wearing all these layers. As soon as you start actually doing anything remotely physical, you get red hot. So next thing to do is, before I do any further, try a bit of water. I guess that's the top. I'll give it a few moments, but I think that's looking drip free. Oh well, it's not leaking, which is great, but the problem is that the bend radius that this pipe has to go onto, which you see, there's a dink here where even when they put it in the pack to post it, it's gone. So as soon as I soften it up enough to bend it in this cold weather, and regardless anyway, if I do it, it just gets a kink in the middle. So what's the plan is going to have to be now is I will need to order another 90-degree piece and put that in, because the way I did it is there's an elbow which sticks out sort of this way from the filler, so I can push the pipe on, and the one here sticks out towards the side of the boat, so it's to give you enough room. And yeah, so I'll get a 90-degree piece to put in the middle, and that will turn it round. Just another 2 joints in there, which isn't great, but this is only going to be in use when it's actually being filled up, and it shouldn't be under great pressure. So, yeah. So happily, it's very easy to put back together again. So I will do that, and then I think of something else. Well, I sincerely hope that the next attempt at that darn water tank connection, it will be a 3rd time lucky. But hey ho. Anyway, I had a glance at the video, and thanks to all my extensive waffling and rambling on, I know I've got more than enough for an episode. So I guess I will wrap this up. So thank you for watching, even though if you haven't seen much happening. But well, that's what's been going on, or hasn't been going on, whichever way you want to put it. And yeah, well, I will be cracking on here, and I hope I will catch you next time. Take care. See you later.